Beautiful. All right. What's up, guys?
What up, everyone?
It's Lee Mac,
Your boy Carlos.
and this is Some Young Guys, just trying to solve the world's problems in a podcast.
Welcome back.
So, not much super interesting has happened this week for me. I don't know. I hit a new PR on bench. That was cool. Working my way up to 315 is the goal. I want to be able to hit 315 for at least one. But really, I want to be able to hit 225, 4 sets for 12 reps. Are you flexing your chest right now?
Yeah.
I just see his shirt moving out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, this dude. Anyways, yeah.
I'll be doing that at work too sometimes. I'll just be standing there randomly, like people will be talking. I'm just like, and then like you start seeing like laugh. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I mean, I'm talking about bench pressing, so it's very fitting that you did it right then. It's this guy. But yeah, so my goal for bench would be 225, 4 sets, 12 reps. 12 reps for all 4 sets at 225. That's my endurance goal, but my strength goal is 315, at least for one.
God. Yeah, dude, 315. Imagine
3 plates to bench 3 plates. I mean, if from what I understand and the way I see it, if I'm able to bench 225, 12 reps for 4 sets, I'll probably be able to bench more than 315.
Oh, yeah, but you can get a solid 5.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If I can hit a solid 5 at 315, I don't need to go up. I don't need to go up anymore. I'm hitting a solid 5 at 315 on squats. So, like, I'm going to be real sad if my squat doesn't improve before I hit 315 on bench.
Well, you know, if we're going to get into this topic, then, you know, I've been working on my knees, my knee health a little bit more. Good. I've been doing, like, you know, certain stretches, you know, lean beef patty. Mm-hmm. You know, some of her videos really focus on knees. Mm-hmm. And I did some of her, like, knee exercises before I actually went to go squat. And I tell you this, my right knee is, like, usually the one that hurts the most when I squat. And after I did a warm-up of what she recommended on her Instagram post, literally no pain. And it's like, you know, I tried everything. I did, like, little, like, you know, flex here and there, you know, warm up a little bit, like, open up the hip flexors and everything, and then warm up on the bike. But sometimes I don't think it does it for me. But recently started doing some knee, you know, workouts and stretching, and I'm able to go up on my squat.
Nice.
But, you know, I'm trying to get a 315 too on the squat. I don't know why I can't hit that.
It's tough. I'm not going as deep as I'd like to go on my squat with 315. For 1 plate and 2 plates, I'm hitting full depth, but for 315, I'm not quite at full depth yet. And so I think I need to go down in weight and just work on full depth until I get to 315 full depth. So I don't know, but I'm still hitting, like, you know, a little bit past 90 degrees on my knees.
I mean, that's fine.
You know, which is a pretty decent squat. But full depth is definitely better.
Oh yeah, definitely.
100%.
No, I'm just happy, dude. I think the increase of my weight also does a lot. Like right now I'm like sitting at 235, 240, which I'm really happy with. But I do feel it like kind of spilling over, you know, when you're like, okay, like you were looking thick and lean, but now you're looking thick and thick.
That's a good way to put it.
Like, oh, this guy does not hold back when they see a tray of cookies. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how.
Hey, man, you know, we all got weaknesses. But speaking of the gym and self-improvement, you're going to the gym with your girl now.
Yeah, dude. So that's one of the awesome things about these past 2 weeks. My lady started joining me to go to the gym, and that makes me very happy. I don't know why. It just, it makes me want to push myself even more because it's like I'm trying to impress her. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Of course. Why. I mean, that's natural.
You know, I'm like trying to show her like how strong I really am.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if it does like makes her be like, oh man, he's actually really strong.
There have been studies that have been done where like if girls are like attractive women are around men when they're in the gym versus not around them when they're in the gym, they do output more when they're around attractive girls. When attractive girls are in the area, guys do push themselves harder.
That makes sense.
Than when they're not.
That makes sense. I mean, there's like 3 other girls there too. No,
Anyways,
I'm just joking. But no, yeah, like having her there, you know, because it took me so long for her to come, you know, to the gym. Sorry.
I hate you, bro. We trying to take this serious.
I'm so sorry. I'm like dead ass. I'm so sorry. What I was trying to say is, it took me so long to, basically
To get her to go to the gym.
yes.
Okay. We're children.
And finally, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm crying.
It's because you're trying to not laugh.
Okay.
Because you feel like you need to be serious.
All right. Long story short, she started going with me to the gym, and you know, it took me so long for her to actually start getting motivated to go. And you know, for a while she wasn't. She wanted to, but she wasn't really wanting to, and she never really found an interest in it till finally she actually started committing to it. You know, like there was days where I'm like, oh, you know, you don't have to go today if you want. Like if you're feeling too tired, she's like, no, I have to go. I have to go. And I'm like, you know, you can miss like a day or two. Like if you're really tired, you know, it's like you're a beginner. She's like, no, not even a day. I'm like, okay. It's like one rest day and that's good, and we'll go from there. I'm like, okay. I was like, if you want to, woman. But you know, it takes a lot on both sides. You know, it takes a lot on her side, and it takes a lot on my side. What I mean that is that, you know, sometimes you got to be the seed for someone. You know, you got to plant the seed, and you got to let it sprout. You know, like you kind of like God. You know, you got to plant the seed. You know, and eventually you keep watering it little by little, and you kind of like keep giving it like microdose of like positivity, you know, vibes or encouragement. You know, a lot of people
microdose positive vibes.
Yeah. You sometimes need it because
Yeah.
I feel like some people don't want to hear like the whole like, oh, you got to do this, oh, you got to stay disciplined, you got to stay hard. You know, it's if they're a beginner, if they're like a fruit, like a baby fruit or like a baby, you don't want to like overload like all this like stuff onto them.
Yeah, you don't need to go David Goggins on everybody.
Yeah, you can't.
Not everybody needs that.
Like even I feel like a lot of people. That's why a lot of people like get annoyed of like Andrew Tate, David Goggins, and all this like disciplining thing because it's just too much for them to like handle because they're not there yet, you know. But when we see it, we're like, no, this motherfucker's right.
Yeah, yeah. I think that also comes down to us being familiar with like masculine mindsets, men that are just go-getters. My stepfather was one of those types of people that's like a hardcore go-getter, like no BS, football coach level grilling all the time, like pushing you that hard all the time, which sucked as a kid, not gonna lie, but looking back, I really appreciate it. And being more familiar with that, and then on top of that, working in the trades, being around other guys that are like that are just like giving you shit all the time. But it's not like they actually don't like you. It's that that's just how they are. So when you're exposed to that type of mindset, and then you go and see the David Goggins, the Andrew Tate, where they're really harsh, but it's tough love. It's a lot easier to accept it when seeing it on Instagram if you've had that experience in real life too, and you know where it's coming from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
It's a lot easier to be open to it.
Definitely.
But yeah, when you were saying that, like you kept saying to your girl that like you were always like, oh, you could take a rest day, you could do that. I was just thinking you're a better man than me. Mm-hmm. I'd have been David Goggins on that motherfucker.
Stay hard. No.
Like, you ain't about it.
Just treat her like shit. No, no, like because that's the thing with some people. Like you can't, like you got to look at it with a different perspective. As in like, you might have this mindset, mm-hmm. but look where you're at. You know, maybe you've been going to the gym for like a year or 2, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever, or you have been integrated into this fitness type of thing. You know, and people that you know are barely taking their like crawls, baby steps, they're not going to see it the same way as you. They're going to be like, oh my God, I got to go, this and that, blah, blah. I got to do it. But eventually, you like, baby feed them, little by little, microdose them with encouraging words to the point where they're like, I'm starting to like it. I'm starting to have some fun. Oh, this is awesome. Oh, I get to hang out with my boyfriend and go work out. And I get to get stronger. And I'm starting to look good, And I think it should be like that with everyone. Not just for the gym, but also, let's say, like in today's world, there's so much negativity, and it's sad. Be the positive seed that people need in their life. Plant that seed in someone's mind. Be like, hey, you're looking really good today. Or, hey, it's like, hey, I didn't notice that, but, that looks really nice on you. Like, oh, some compliment, something nice. Yeah. Don't be creepy at all, you know what I'm saying? But be nice about it. Be like, it's like, oh, like, if you start hearing them talk about themselves, like, oh, I'm not really dumb, I'm not passing. It's like, hey, I think you're really smart. I think you just need to learn how to
learn how to study. Yeah. Those are also very true things. Like learning how to learn, learning how to study. Those are very, very important skills to learn. I didn't have those skills when I was in high school. I've talked about that before. Did not have those skills, but now I'm better at studying. I'm better at learning, and it helps a lot to learn how to do the thing that you're trying to do.
Yeah, definitely. Like an incident for me, I saw a coworker at the gym, and she's like, "Oh, hey, what's up, man?" I'm like, "Oh, hey," and she's like, "Oh, I'm finally back. This is and that." And I was like, "That's good." I'm like, "I'm glad." Like, I'm like, I told her, "I'm proud of you. Like, you're making an effort, and that's good." And she's like, "Oh yeah, thanks." Like, I'm just so fat. I'm like, "No, don't say that." I'm like, just keep pushing yourself. You'll do all right. And she's like, "Thank you." And then she just walked away, and I'm just like, people need to. I'm a what do you say? I'm a victim myself. Like how I kind of sometimes be like, oh, I'm stupid, or I'm dumb.
I mean, we all do that. We're all our own worst critics oftentimes.
Absolutely. And it can be good sometimes, but not really.
It can be good if it's like motivating or not necessarily motivating, but it's like, no, I didn't do this. I know I didn't do this to my best ability. I need to do better at this next time. When it's that kind of self-talk, that's definitely better. You need to be honest with yourself about whether or not you were putting in the effort. But if you really put in the effort and you didn't get the results that you wanted, you can be generous with yourself and be like, no, I really did put in the effort. These are all the things that I did, and it didn't work out for these reasons. And next time, I'm going to pay attention to those reasons that it didn't work out this time and make sure I put in the same amount of effort, if not more, next time.
Absolutely.
And having that honest self-talk, but also, giving yourself credit where it's due. Too many people give themselves credit where it's not due, but also a lot of people don't give themselves enough credit. We all fall short in very similar ways.
Yeah, I think be nicer to yourself, just in general, but also keep pushing yourself to greatness,
Yeah.
I mean, with everyone else too around you, like I said, not just for the gym, not just for daily encouragement, but also just be, I want to say be a good person, but just be a positive person too, where people, you can make a difference in their life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they start thinking about it subconsciously. They're like, oh man, he's like, oh, that guy was so nice. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I feel like eventually the seed that I planted in my girl, to go to the gym and kind of get herself a little bit moving, start eating a little better, actually, because she's very low in vitamin
deficient.
Yeah, she's a little vitamin. Yeah, I was gonna say the letter of the vitamin, but it's gonna sound funny. Vitamin B and the vitamin D. Okay.
We still own that.
I'm sorry.
Anyways,
but
you can help her with that, dog.
No, she's getting better though. Like she started I like the fact that she's like really dedicated to the gym. This is her second week going, so I'm really happy about that. And we were talking earlier, it was just encourages me to push myself stronger. And I did hit 215 for 5 solid reps. I felt like I was on top of the world. And her watching me made me feel like a freaking warrior.
Bro, that's real. Chick that I was dating not that long ago. We went and hit legs twice while we were dating. And the second time we hit legs together, I hit 315 on squat for 8 reps twice in a row. I hit the way I warm up legs, or at least did at the time, was 1 plate for 12, 2 plates for 12, and then 3 plates for as many as I could do. And I did 8 reps twice in a row with solid form. Like, just, it was easy.
Oh, definitely. I believe it.
Because we were both working out, and I'm like, this was at the college gym too. So I was like, I gotta assert dominance here. And I'm sure I wasn't really paying attention to what other people were doing. I'm sure there were some guys in there that were squatting more than me. It was, you know, the middle of the week. It wasn't like the athletes were in there really pushing themselves either. So it was just like the people that were using the gym. But yeah, it's a real thing, and that's for sure. Yeah,
that's badass.
It's very motivating. I have not hit that weight in that way. Damn. I have not done that since, unfortunately, which is tragic. But I'll get back to it.
You know, it's kind of funny. It just made me think about the TikToks or like the Instagram post that says, you know, it's all right, King. I know you know where you're. No, what does he say? It's all right, King. I'll see you at the gym.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like low-key,
yes.
You might be able to hit a lot of weight because you're pissed, but eventually that like anger will run out, and then you're just gonna go back to what you were.
I feel like I got a lot of it's just locked up in there. Gotta let it out somehow, man.
Oh, I'm just waiting for someone to break in one day. They're gonna unleash.
You better get your straps, dog.
These fists.
You better hope they're not strapped in. Somebody's breaking in my house. I'm bringing out the arsenal. All right. They won't know what happened.
Yeah.
Anyways,
be on a T-shirt.
There won't be anything left to put on a T-shirt, dog.
That's brutal.
That is brutal. Anyway, yeah, like, don't give up on the people that you're trying to help either, because you know, they say that you don't want to help people that don't want to help themselves. Don't cast pearls before swine. All of these different things, which are all very true. You don't want to put effort into people that are not putting any effort into themselves, and that are just like, you know, you've been trying to put those micro doses of positivity in them, and they're just not taking whatsoever. You need to understand when your seed is not taking to the soil, when the soil is not good enough for the seed to take. And, you know, it doesn't mean that you have to tell that person off and cut them out of your life or anything. But maybe not put in as much effort anymore, taper off the effort. And then, you know, if they don't come back around, or if they don't seem like they're turning it around at some point, you know, maybe they just need to hit a real rock bottom and recognize that you were there for them the whole time. And, you know, maybe they'll reach out to you and be like, hey, I want to turn things around, and I think you can help me do that. And you can always be a positive force for that, hopefully. I mean, if you're not in a new city or a new schedule or whatever the case might be. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. Like, don't, how can I put this? You know, don't be the only person watering the seed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I guess you can say, like, you know, give other people a chance to also water a seed, work on the seed, you know, work on the land for that person. How can I say this? I'm just blanking out right now. Basically, in a really poetic way, philosophical way, like, let other people work on that land, or, you know, water that seed. Like, don't be the only person doing that, because then they're going to get used to that, and they're like, oh my God, this guy's saying the same thing over and over again. So, like, let other people tell them, or let other people break them. Maybe some people need to be broke. Like a horse, you got to break a horse in order to be able to train it. And sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
And that's what I meant by, like, maybe they just need to hit rock bottom to recognize, like, oh man, I do need to get better. And so was always saying, I need to go and hit the gym. I need to go and, you know, read some books, work on myself, learn whatever I needed to learn about myself, about the world, about people, all these different things. And, you know, sometimes they just need to learn lessons the hard way before they come around to what you were trying to say. And it's unfortunate sometimes, because that can really damage relationships too. But you also have to, if you're the person that's sowing into someone and you're trying your best to give them all of the good things that you wish you had gotten from your friends that you had to learn the hard way, because that's oftentimes what it is. It's people, the people that are sowing seeds in others are oftentimes the people that had to learn it the hard way, and they're just trying to, like, share the good vibes and share what they learned with others so that they don't have to learn it the hard way. And, you know, sometimes you just have to learn it the hard way. Like your parents tell you things all the time, like, oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. And as a kid, you're just like, whatever, mom, whatever, dad. And then you go and learn the hard way, and you're like, man, I should have listened to mom and dad more. Oh, yeah. That happens all the time. So, you know, don't let yourself be taken for granted, but also be there for the people that you care about too. Mm-hmm. And understand that sometimes it's not necessarily about having them change to your standards or what you want them to do. It's about making sure that they want to change in the first place before you go and try and help them change.
Absolutely. You know, make sure that they also want this change too. You know, they're happy about it.
You can't change someone that doesn't want to change. That's for sure.
Yeah, because it'd be kind of selfish if you want them to change and they don't want to change, and then like they're miserable and then you're all happy, and then like they're just not.
Yeah.
You know. And
then on top of that, try and recognize when someone is trying to change, and don't rush their change, because change happens at whatever pace it's going to happen at. Not everyone changes at the pace that you change or that you would like them to change, especially. And you know, they're if they're putting in effort, and maybe it's inconsistent effort, or it's not as much effort as you'd like to see, but it is effort and it's honest effort, then, you know, just keep sowing into them, keep helping them, encouraging them. Don't discourage them. Don't badmouth them because they're not going as fast as you'd like. Whatever. Mm-hmm. Just, you know, be there, be supportive, and eventually they'll come around, usually.
Like, you can't yell at a baby oak tree to grow faster. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You got to give it time. You got to be patient. So, yeah. Yeah,
I think we're good there.
I think so,
I think I'm liking these shorter episodes. Probably a little less of a intimidating commitment to the listeners as well, because we used to be going for an hour at least.
45 to an hour, yeah.
Man, when we started, we were going for like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
We just
shaving time off. Yeah. We could keep talking about all kinds of things forever, as you guys know if you've been listening. Shut up, man. Anyways, I think that's a good place to leave off. And yeah, I'm Lee Mac.
I'm Carlos.
And this has been Some Young Guys trying to solve the world's problems in a podcast.
Thanks again for listening, guys. Peace out.